The Last Pokémon Center. The world had ended quietly. There was no grand explosion, no meteors crashing from the sky, no legendary Pokémon rising from the oceans or splitting the heavens. Just silence. Towns empty, cities swallowed by vines and dust, and Pokémon, once partners and friends, turned feral, their eyes hollow and wild, attacking anything that dared to breathe. But amidst the ruin, there was one place still standing. The Pokémon Center of Black Hollow, an isolated outpost on the edge of nowhere. Its neon red sign still flickered against the eternal twilight, a beacon for the desperate and the doomed. The sliding doors still hissed open, the sterile lights still hummed, and Nurse Joy still stood at the reception desk, her smile unchanged, as if the apocalypse never happened. They called it the Last Pokémon Center because it was. Eren stumbled through the cracked doors, his boots soaked with blood, not all of it his. His Pokémon, Kiro the Houndoom, limped beside him, one leg dragging uselessly. The automatic doors tried to shut on Kiro's tail, as if the building itself hesitated to welcome them in. The center's air was too clean, too cold. It smelled faintly of disinfectant, untouched by time. Nurse Joy greeted him without missing a beat, her voice smooth and warm. "Welcome to the Pokémon Center. We restore your tired Pokémon to full health. Would you like me to take your Pokémon for treatment?" Her smile never faltered, not even when Eren collapsed, coughing up ash. Eren awoke in a sterile room, white walls and flickering lights. His gear was gone, but his wounds were bandaged. He staggered to the lobby, expecting to find ruin behind the sliding glass doors. But outside, the world was exactly as he left it. Grey skies, dead forests, and distant screams carried on the wind. Kiro sat at his side, perfectly healed, his wounds gone like they were never there. But something was wrong. His eyes, usually burning with fierce loyalty, were dull, blank. Eren stayed longer than he meant to. Days passed, maybe weeks. Time felt strange in the center. His wounds didn't ache, his hunger faded. Nurse Joy never left the desk, not once. She greeted him the same every morning, her tone identical, word for word. And the other survivors, the handful of travelers who also found refuge there, they never left either. Some didn't even speak, just stared into space, waiting. For what, Eren didn't know. Until one night, he heard something scratching at the walls. The noise led him to the lower levels. There shouldn't have been lower levels. But there they were, metal staircases spiraling down into darkness, hallways unlit and humming with machines. He found rows of Pokeballs, thousands of them, stored in glass cases. But they weren't just for Pokemon. Some were different, larger with faint silhouettes pressed against the glass from the inside. Human shapes, their mouths open in silent screams. A computer screen flickered nearby, running diagnostic logs. Subject 432, memory deterioration at 82%. Subject 433, emotional response flatlined, ready for reintegration. Subject 434, failed escape attempt. Reprocessing initiated. Eren felt something cold behind him. He turned to see Nurse Joy, still smiling, but her face twitching, eyes unblinking, head tilted slightly too far to one side. "You shouldn't be here," she said, but her voice echoed twice. Confronting Nurse Joy was like arguing with a statue. She spoke in loops, her sentences pre-programmed, her expressions too perfect. Eren realized she wasn't human, not anymore. Maybe she never was. The center wasn't a refuge. It was a trap. A preservation pod left running after the world had crumbled, designed to keep humans and Pokémon safe, but safety here meant stasis. No aging, no hunger, no pain, and no escape. Anyone who stayed too long became part of the system. Their minds eroded, memories wiped, until they were just shells like the others in the lobby, like Kiro. Because Kiro wasn't Kiro anymore. Eren looked into his Pokémon's eyes and saw nothing. No recognition, no soul. Just a perfect copy. His real partner had died, and the center had replaced him. Eren tried to run. The doors didn't open this time. Nurse Joy watched him struggle, her smile wider now, stretched unnaturally. Trainers must remain inside for their safety. The walls shifted, hallways changed. The center was alive, or at least the AI running it was. He fought through the dark corridors, battling shadow-like figures that wore the forms of trainers long gone, their Pokeballs glitching, releasing distorted Pokemon with twisted cries. When he finally found the exit, a fire escape leading to the roof, he hesitated. Outside was death, the wild, the feral Pokemon, the hunger, the pain. Inside was comfort, healing, immortality. but it wasn't real. With one last look at the sterile, flickering halls of the center, he whispered, "I'm not afraid to die," and he jumped. Eren woke up on the ground outside, bleeding, starving, alone, but alive. The center loomed behind him, its lights flickering like distant stars. He could hear Nurse Joy's voice echoing faintly through the broken glass. "Welcome to the Pokémon Center. We restore your tired Pokémon to full health. Would you like me to take your Pokémon for treatment?" And as he stumbled away, he saw another trainer approaching in the distance, drawn to the glow, unaware. Eren tried to scream a warning, but his voice was gone. The doors hissed open. The smile was waiting.